Hi everyone, I'm here to explain the next point of grammar of the next unit, which is the present perfect. I'm sure that you have studied this kind of tense before, but let's review everything and go in depth. First of all, the formation. The formation of this verb is a composed verb in Spanish, un verbo compuesto, the same as el pretérito perfecto compuesto, for example, in Spanish. So we will have a subject in a statement plus the auxiliary verb, which is has or have, and the past participle, which in the case of regular verbs is finished in ed, as we have said in the past simple, and in the case of irregular verbs, we would have to learn them by heart with the third column. Okay, do you remember we have three columns, which is first the infinitive, the second one, which is the past simple, and the third one, which is this one, the past participle. Then, let's go to the uses of this tense. First of all, we need to take into account that we will use it in two different situations. Think about situations, okay? Not in translations into Spanish, but in cases or expressing the situations. The first case in which we use this kind of tense is with finished actions in the past, but if you remember, we have seen that finished actions in the past are also expressed with past simple. So, what is the difference? The difference is that in these cases, we don't specify when they happened or when they were finished. We have no expressions of time, okay? Let's have a look at the examples. Have you been in London? ¿Has estado en Londres? Yes, I have been in London. So we say the same in Spanish. Sí, he estado en Londres. But you don't say when, okay? Sí, he estado en Londres. If you include a time expression, like for example last year, you would need to change the verb into a past simple. We wouldn't use I have been in London last year because it won't sound natural, okay? You need to use I was in London last year because it is a finished action in the past, but in this case we do express when it was completed or done, okay? So the first case, finished actions in the past, but with no time expression, okay? Yes, I have been in London. Sí, he estado en Londres. ¿Has hecho alguna vez puenting? Sí, he hecho puenting. So it is like time or life experiences, okay? We express experiences that we have had in life. La expresión de experiencias vitales, cosas que hemos hecho. But, as I have said, no time expression. That is the most important thing to take into account when we talk about the difference between past simple and present perfect, okay? The second situation has to do with the both meanings that present perfect has, which is present, so current action, and perfect, something in the past. So we will express actions that started in the past, but with a present effect or a duration, una duración todavía en el presente. Examples: I have lived in Ávila for 7 years. He vivido en Ávila durante 7 años. It means that you are still living in Ávila. Todavía vives ahí. Okay? So it is an action that started in the past with a present duration or effect. They have been married for 2 years. Han estado casados durante 2 años. Están todavía juntos. So it has a duration in the present. That is why we use this tense. If we say that they aren't together now, so we would change the verb into a simple past. we would say. They were married for 2 years. Estuvieron casados durante 2 años. Ya no están juntos. Can you see the difference? Here we have a duration or a present effect of the action. They have been married for 2 years. They are still together. But here we say that they were married, but they split up. They broke up. They aren't together now. They are divorced. Okay? That is the difference between past simple and present perfect. Okay? Now that we have studied the use and formation, let's have a look at the particles that usually appear with present perfect. We will have these two, which are the most common ones, for and since. For goes with a period of time, for example, for 2 years, for 2 months, okay? And since is used with the beginning of a period of time. For example, since March, since 2012, okay? So let's say that for as a translation has durante and since is desde, okay? Durante 10 años, durante 2 meses, and since would be desde marzo, desde el 2012. That can ease you the things to use it. Then we have 3 more particles which are used frequently with this kind of tense, with the present perfect, which are already, just, and yet. Let's see the differences and the use in the sentences. The use of already and just is similar. They express situations or actions that are complete or done. Algo que ya se ha hecho, okay? Una acción ya completada o ya hecha. Both are used in affirmative sentences with the verb in affirmative form. So, for example, I have already done my homework. She has already studied for the exam. Ya ha hecho sus deberes, ya ha estudiado para el examen. As you can see, the order of already in the sentence is always the same, already before the main verb, okay? So we would have the auxiliary verb, then the particle, and then the main verb. So it is always in between. Just, as I have said, is more or less similar as already, so it is used in affirmative sentences as well. It expresses something done, but the difference is that just is something more recent. Let's say that it's like acabar de hacer algo in Spanish. So we would have, for example, he has just come here. Acaba de llegar, acaba de venir. I have just had a coffee. Acabo de tomarme un café. Okay, that would be the translation. Let's say that both mean or express actions which are already completed, done in the past, but this one expresses something more recent, okay? Something done a moment before the action. The order, as well as in the case of already, it goes before the main verb. Again, the auxiliary verb, the particle, and then the past participle. Then, let's go to the third case, which is the most different one, yet. Yet is used only in negative and interrogative sentences. We would never use it in an affirmative sentence. The translation into Spanish depends on whether it appears in a negative or in an interrogative form. We ask if something is done, or we say that something is not done. For example, have you finished your homework yet? ¿Ya has terminado tus deberes? And you answer, no, I haven't finished yet. Todavía no lo he acabado. So, here it means ya, okay? And in a negative way, in a negative form, it would say todavía o aún, okay? The order is another difference with the other 2 particles. It always goes at the end of the sentence, as you can see here, okay? So, differences between these 2 and yet is the use in the different kind of sentences and also the order, which in this case is the same, but in the case of yet, it always goes at the end of the sentence. Well, that has been everything. I will upload these 2 pictures as well for you to have them. And if you have any kind of doubts, just send me a message or an email or whatever. I am here to answer any doubts. See you